Joy, how long have you been Miss Eastside?
Almost a week. Yeah.
Oh, and so I met you at the chamber lunch this week,
Mm-hmm.
and last year's Miss Eastside ran up and said, "Oh, you got to get Joy on the radio show."
It's my sister, sort of. We look alike, so we tell everybody that we're sisters.
And so here you are getting some experience.
Yeah, this is my first ever participation in my community like this, having a title like this, so it's really exciting.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So you'd never been like a junior miss or a little miss or come up through the ranks?
No, I haven't. This is my first pageant that I've done, and surprisingly, it was not as hard as I thought it was, but it was still difficult, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so what was not hard?
I think getting up on stage, everybody has that fear of public speaking, but for some reason, it kind of comes easy to me from what my friends tell me. So, that was the easiest part for me.
And what was scary?
Okay, so I kind of lied. Both, it has its pros and cons. It was both a fun experience to talk in front of people, and it was also really scary because, you have eyes on you, and it's kind of difficult, but it's pretty easy.
Yeah, you have to stay there. You have to smile.
Yeah.
You have to
memorize stuff.
think about what you're going to say.
Yes.
But nice thing about the radio, they can't see you.
That's really nice.
But it's too bad because you look great today.
Thank you so much.
And you got a little experience walking in high heels down the long hallway here.
Prom. That too. That helps.
So how old are you, and where do you go to school?
I'm 18 years old. I recently graduated from Eastside High School in 2018.
Go
Lions.
And how did you get involved in the Miss Eastside pageant?
So I've actually been asked 3 years in a row to do this. So I was just, maybe I should do it this year since I have a little bit more free time. So I decided to.
It's going to take some free time.
A lot of free time.
And fortunately, you brought your mom.
Yes.
And so she will be a lot of times she'll be your chaperone, and she'll be driving. Although
Yes.
are you old enough? You're old enough to drive. Are you driving?
No, I don't have my license or permit, but I'm trying to buy a car, so that's mainly why.
Do you know how to drive a car?
I do.
How'd you learn that?
When I had my permit, it was easier because if I got pulled over, I had something to show to the police. But I never got pulled over though, so don't think
Wow.
that.
Well, a lot of that, driving a car is also making sure that everything on the car is mechanically correct. So you don't have any lights out. So somebody's taking care of your car. What were your favorite subjects when you were in high school?
My favorite subjects were definitely history. I like to, learn about the different things that went on in history and how it, shaped our now that we live in. And English, I like writing essays, surprisingly. I'm pretty good at it, I'd say. Just don't ask me to write one now.
I won't, but do you have some essays online that we might look at?
No, but I did, as a freshman, have a poem published into a book that's in the Lancaster Library. Yeah.
Well, see, you're published, and now you've been on the radio, so your resume is really building up here.
Yeah, I forget about all the stuff that I've done.
You're going to be involved in the AV Fair, which comes up in August.
Yes, I like the fair a lot. I didn't go last year because I don't really like, the rides. I kind of freaked out on the swings. Don't laugh at me, but I did.
You have all your sisters this year to hold your hand.
Yeah, well, yeah.
On the scary rides.
That helps too.
Right, you can come with my wife and I when we do the Ferris wheel.
Okay, yeah.
That's
sure.
just real high.
I'll just close my eyes when we get to the very top.
Oh, that's the best part. The view.
You couldn't get me on it either.
See, I'm not alone.
I even, I had an orange soda for Aaron. I said, "Come on, Aaron, come on, follow the soda," and he just would not do it.
Follow the soda. I think I'd have to be led by a little bit more than that.
Not my department. So, wait, how did you pick the East Side? You live close to the East Side High School?
I've actually lived on the East Side all of my life, all 18 years, almost 19.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And is there, on the West Side, like there's Antelope Acres, they have a town center. Does the East Side have a town center?
I'm not sure. I don't really know about that specifically, but I do know a lot about the East Side and like where to go to have fun, like the Boulevard, for example.
What do you think about the new Boulevard?
I like it. I like that we have a theater We have a theater,
Uh-huh.
and the restaurants are really nice. 1800. That's a studio for hair.
Yeah.
I get my hair done there.
I get mine done next door at Fusion.
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't take me long.
Yeah.
So you like the Boulevard. I don't know if you're even old enough to remember the old Boulevard.
I don't know if I.
But you like
Did we
the
ever
new
go to the
one.
old Boulevard? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember. No.
It's been the new Boulevard about 10 or 12 years, so
That's kind of strange.
yeah.
Yeah.
But young people like the Boulevard. There's stuff to do.
There is.
And then what made you run? 3 years you didn't, or 2 years you didn't, and then you thought, okay, this year I better do it.
Well, my sister Aaliyah, she was the former Miss Eastside, and I always admired her crown and her outfits that she wore and all of the things that she got to do. So I was like, hey, maybe I can do that. So I decided to.
You'd go to events and you'd see her there, and you'd
Yes.
go, you could kind of picture yourself doing that. Do you know how busy you're going to be this year, being Miss Eastside?
I have no idea, but I know I'm going to be busy.
Because the Lancaster Chamber kind of adopts you, and so you have every notice of every ribbon cutting, every lunch, every breakfast.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. You'll get a lot of attention, and maybe, what are you doing for money? Do you work, or you have a job?
I do. I work at Yogurland over on 10th Street West by Target and Applebee's.
2 jobs. At least you're not going to school, right?
No.
Are you going to go to school?
I am. I'm not sure exactly when, because I do have to pay for it myself. So I'm trying to, figure out different scholarships that I can apply for, and how I can save all this money for it. So.
And looking back on it, the junior college, if you're thinking junior college, really, if you could stay at home, pretty reasonable as far as getting all those units. It's just not as classy as maybe, going off to some big name school, but
I'd love to, but we'll see where life takes me.
1 year at a time, right?
Yes.
And then what do you think to gain or hope to gain from being Miss Eastside?
So far, being Miss Eastside, it's opened up a lot of doors for me, so I'm excited to see where this could take me and how many opportunities it can bring me. I know there's a scholarship that's involved in it, and I really need a scholarship for school, and I'd love to go to school, so we're gonna see.
Do you have to raise some funds?
Yeah, we do. We
Like $2,000?
Yeah.
Did you ask me for money yet?
No.
Oh, here we are.
Because I'm not sure exactly when due dates are yet, so
You're not
it's all
too
new
worried
to
about
me.
it yet.
No, but I should probably start worrying, huh?
Well, to start thinking about it. Everybody you
Definitely.
meet, like this guy over here with a nice shirt, should ask him. Yeah.
I don't know why you turned around. We're obviously talking about you.
Okay, change the subject. What movie can you watch over and over and over without getting tired of?
Grease. I love Grease. Oh my goodness. Because, so, I'm not sure if you knew, but our pageant was 50s themed, and I believe strongly that I was born in the wrong era, because the 50s and the 60s, not only were their outfits cool, but I feel like everything was more held higher standard, like love, for example.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get too into that, but that's something that, sorry about that, my manager. But yeah, the 50s were definitely a time that I'd want to live in. I don't know if they'd accept me though.
I bet they would. The 50s were pretty cool. I've heard. And then how are you going to be a positive role model for your junior queens?
I've actually started to build a really strong relationship with them, just through the running for the categories and the titles. And actually we had a little fundraiser, or not a fundraiser, we had an event that went on at the park. And my little miss, Audrey, she was getting her lunch, and she sat down, she's like, Joy, come sit by me. And she kept reminding me, come sit by me. And Raina and I are building a relationship too, which I'm really looking forward to. I hope that I can be a positive role model for them.
They look up to you, ask you questions.
All the time.
just like you did with Miss Eastside.
Yes.
And then we were talking a little bit about a platform. So if you had something that you felt strongly about in the community, what would that be? Like if somebody had $100 and they want to make a donation, where would you send them?
I'm sure there's like shelters for the homeless. I think that's something that's definitely needed to be talked about, and something that's needs to be taken care of, and the people, they really need help, to get them into different situations and areas, so they have somewhere to stay.
Homelessness is a big topic, and it's not going away, so we all have to be involved. Speaking of food, favorite foods at the fair?
Did I try that? What was it? Funnel cake. That's really good. So, well, I think I tried it. I'm not really sure if I remember if I did or not, but I'm sure it's good.
I think you'd remember. If you've been into a funnel cake.
Oh, I did.
It's not something you would forget.
Yes.
There'd be sugar all over the place. And
definitely.
probably the junior princesses would want to help you or share in it.
For sure.
Let's see. I guess if people wanted to ask you a question or get in touch with you, they could just call the Chamber of Commerce, the Lancaster Chamber, and say, hey, I'm looking for Miss Eastside, or send her a note, or hey, we'd like to contribute towards her. I think you have to raise some funds. Yeah, they'll tell you that next week probably.
Yeah.
So how has it been being on the radio today?
This is really nerve-wracking, but I think I'm holding it together here.
I'd recommend that you go to the Chamber website and look at the video. We'll have it up in a week, and you can see how Joy did.
Oh, wow.
Very poised. She
Thank
looks
you.
great. She's got the tiara on. It's called a tiara.
This is my crown, and then I have a smaller crown that's a tiara.
Smaller crown is a tiara.
Yes.
Did you know that? See, we learned something. We came here to learn something, huh?
I wear tiaras all the time.
He's wearing one right now. It looks
Well,
great.
you look great, Bryce. We've been talking with Joy Manson, current Miss Eastside 2019. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.